Mute to this faculty development program. I am Rajita and it's my immense pleasure to welcome you all for the faculty development program. We all gather here for the 1 week FDP on Foundations and Frontiers of Quantum Computing, organized by Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. This program is designed to provide insights into emerging trends, new technologies, and foster innovations in our teaching and research. We aim to create dynamic platform for knowledge exchange and professional development. The goal of this FDP is to provide participants with the latest knowledge and equip you with the practical skills. It is a privilege to have our distinguished esteemed dignitaries, Vice Principal Sir, students, and our program coordinators present with us to make this event success. Now, I would like to invite our program coordinator, Dr. K. S. Sadareddy sir, onto the desk.
సరిపోతాయి కదా
Now, I would like to invite the head of the department, ECE department, Dr. K. Murali sir, onto the desk. Now, I would like to invite our Vice Principal Sir, Dr. A. Hazratya sir, onto the desk. Now, let us start our program with a divine note of light lamping. I request all the dignitaries and faculty please come forward for light lamping ceremony. Now, I would like to invite Head of the Department, Dr. K. Murali sir, to address the gathering on this occasion.
Now, welcome to all of you for 1 week activity and foundational projects of Quantum Computing. In this regard, I would like to extend thanks to all the participants and Honorable Vice Principal Sir Dr. Aditya Sir, our Program Coordinator Dr. K. Sagarani Sir, and my new colleagues and participants. Once again, welcome to all of you. As you know, being a faculty, one of the essential tasks is to upskill your skills. Of course, we have a degree, that means we have a skill. As you all of you know, the technology is growing like anything, not day by day, it seems to be second by second, by minute by minute. To share your knowledge with students, it is a part of your duty to upskill yourself, but towards upskilling technologies. And a part of this, we planned to conduct the FTP on one of the upcoming technologies, quantum computing. As all of you know, it is a state-government initiative. In fact, being a people who belongs to Andhra Pradesh, you should be proud of yourself. The first quantum computer is coming to Amravati in a span of I think 50 days or 1 month. It's a very fortunate event for us. In this regard, I would like to appeal all of you. Why can't you be part of that quantum park? Now, which is they're going to establish in Amravati, especially young faculty, catch up the upcoming technology, try to be part of the quantum computing. During these 5 days, we planned such a way that starting with the basics of quantum computing, at the end of the day, we'll end up with all the real world applications and challenges. Of course, there are a lot of advantages at the same time, there are a lot of challenges to implement the quantum computing. Anyhow, I'll talk more about this technology during my session. In this regard, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our management, Director Sir, Principal Sir, and all my colleagues and faculty of the EC department. I hope we will fulfill the what agenda, what we plan, and sharing of knowledge with the faculty. Then automatically, once you are gain knowledge gained by faculty, that will to transfer to the students. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you for sharing your words. We will have a 10-minute short break. After session will continue in the same seminar. Thank you.
ఫ్లాట్ ఉంది.
Once again, good morning. Myself. Hello? Now welcome to first day and the first session of the FDP. Now today I am going to discuss about what is the quantum computing, that is basics, which I will cover the basics, and how the quantum mechanical concepts should incorporate in the computing process. And at the end of the session, we will find what are the potential applications of quantum computing. Next slide. See, first let's see. But before entering the basics, see what is the quantum computer. I have all familiar with the computer. The quantum computer, means the quantum computer, my other take use the quantum mechanics concepts for doing computation. Come to the classical computer. The implementation part, we are using a classical mechanics. Of course, I will come to that. What is the quantum mechanics and what is classical mechanics? What is basic differences? How can we calculate the quantum mechanics concepts when quantum computing? Next slide. But this is the pictorial view of the upcoming quantum computer. That is hardware point of view. If you see here, but there are different types of hardware which is proposed by the various industries. Like, see first one IBM 53, but they are using the concept is called as superconducting phenomena. When I see 76, they are using photon based. What is that? Ion cube is trapped ion based. This hardware point of view. And then how the quantum computer looks like. That is implementation process. See here, like if you take any vehicle, somebody is working on the e-vehicles, somebody is working on the diesel vehicles, somebody is working on the petrol vehicles. Like that, similar fashion, unlike non-classical computers, now we can implement in a different ways. That is hardware point of view. One is the how the quantum qubits can be implemented in the various ways. Of course, as of today, we are keep on talking of the IBM quantum computer. I will discuss what the hurdles you are facing as of today. Hardware point of view. Next slide. Let us see the previous next. Yeah, this is the history of quantum computer. Must be the first statement. Why people are keep on talking about quantum computing? Where you are going to make use that? What are the changes we expect after quantum computing when it is come to the real application factor? This is the first statement which is like Google for the competition, some X competition, whatever the problem solving. It took 200 seconds. Whereas if you do the same thing using classical computer, it may take 10,000 years. Just imagine how the tremendous change in terms of speed of quantum computing. In fact, that is kind in 2019. After 6 years or so, we are yet to looking for the real quantum computers. Of course, rest of things are what the present status we have. And anyhow, all the details we see in upcoming sections. I'm not going to go on step, just for idea I will give this one. Next step. Yes. Come to the, as I talked about the classical mechanics and quantum mechanics. Before we enter into the quantum mechanics, let me quickly have a look at the classical mechanics. As for all favorite physics, this class will look at this on the classical physics and what are the quantum mechanics and quantum physics, what do you call it. In case of quantum, in case of classical mechanics, the core assumptions. The first one is the determinism. Means just by knowing the present status of anything, we can predict the future status. Just let's take an example. I have a ball. I am throwing out. You assume that you know the weight of the ball, the velocity. Simply by observing the Newton's laws, you are able to find where it falls down. By the angle as well as weight of the ball. That's what you will find the exact location of the feature. The location of the ball is same. Feature can be predicted exactly. Next, come to the continuity point of view. That's the energy of the energy. Where in case of energy is continuous, in case of classical mechanics. But the reality, the properties exist independent of the observation. Independent of the but that means the classical mechanics is success to describe on like daily life so many phenomena. Like let's take a plant in motion, motion of the vehicle, motion of the body, everything, which one seeing physical objects were able to assess that. The next thing. But the way the classical mechanics able to explain the phenomena of the all the macroscopic bodies, like human body, like tube, like lens, they're all component physical bodies. Yes, mentioned next one. See, simply by knowing the mass, velocity, we are able to find the exact location of the exact location of the body. Exact location of the body. Next. Next one. Right. But these are some of the aspects where the classical mechanics is able to explain. Like that's what I mentioned is the microscopic bodies. Next. However, but the classical mechanics fail to explain. But some of the phenomena like black body radiation and photoelectric effect and atomic stability and catastrophic. But it all belongs to microscopic aspects. Like I think you studied in classes, what is the Planck study, Einstein, and more phenomena. Right. See, if you in a broad sense, like in classical mechanics, now we describe a body, we will find the Newton's law, we will use the Newton's law of motion. But whereas in case of quantum mechanics, I will use the Schrodinger to describe the system. Describe the system. Next. Another key aspect in case of where the classical mechanics fail to explain the interference of light or wave, dual nature of light and the photoelectric effect dual nature of light. Now see, if you regard the photoelectric effect, that comparing the light as a particle as well as wave. Where it acts as a particle, where it is a wave means that depending upon the circumstances. That is dual nature of light. Next. this is the basic difference. I mean, summary of the how the quantum classical physics with the quantum physics. Now, first one is the determinism. That is finding the status of this one. For example, if I ask you, I am present or not? Because you are observing, physically I am available here. That is the, you can say yes, deterministic. That means you will find the exact state of me like a physical position. That is the classical physics. May I know what I am thinking? Are you able to find? Are you able to tell me what I am thinking? No. You may predict. You may predict. That means what I am thinking is you may predict, but you cannot find exactly. But that is quantum mechanics. As simple as that. Your presence is classical mechanics. What you are thinking is a quantum mechanics. As simple. Like see, you can apply same analysis for the classical computers and quantum computing also. That is the meaning of deterministic and non-deterministic. That is the fundamental difference between the quantum mechanics, quantum computing and normal computing. Of course, second one is energy is continuous in case of classical mechanics. The third one is the energy is complex. Yes, it's observable or not. I think it's a bit confused. In the case of quantum mechanics, I think some of might be using regarding qubits is concerned. But once you measure, if it lost that position. As simple as that, I can say like this. Suppose as of now, what I'm doing is I'm delivering a lecture. If I got a call or I got a call interrupted by someone, what I will do? I will stop my action. I will do next action. That is what I will calculate as a loss of actual measurement after observing. That bit confused. Everyone because no, like I have double, right? I am present. I am physically present here. I am talking both we are doing simultaneously. No, that means if you observe but quantum mechanically if you stop my action, that means the second point dependent on the observer. See, you might observe when I got a call, I stop my action. Even I am physically present here, right? Classically independent of the observer, whereas if I respond to that one, that is called depending upon the observer. You may, it's a bit confused word, like what is the superposition and I come to that. The last one is the classical mechanics deals with the macroscopic, most of physical objects which are observed by the naked eye. Whereas quantum physics is atomic and subatomic. As simple as that. Suppose there is a body, we can measure physical dimensions, right? But suppose there is a slab, might be 1 centimeter width, 1 centimeter something like that. But you can't assess how the atoms are moving, how the electrons are moving, can't assess. But that's the meaning of the last one. It deals with the macroscopic and last one is the subatomic. That next one. Yes. Now come to the describe how to describe classical mechanics, quantum mechanics. Generally, the quantum mechanics deals with particles, whereas quantum mechanics, as I mentioned, is Schrödinger wave. That's wave equation. Now the properties, the like Newton's law, mass, position, velocity, and in the case of waves, wavelength, the behavior will find the momentum and cooling. Here, diffraction and interference. Next. Yes. Let me summarize the classical mechanics. Accurate for the macroscopic, whereas quantum mechanics will be for the microscopic. However, in the case of quantum mechanics, simply by putting the h is equal to 0, that becomes classical mechanics. The connectivity between the classical mechanics and that means a one thing. The class, the phenomena or application of the classical mechanics can be implemented using quantum mechanics. The application of the classical mechanics can be implemented using quantum mechanics. Vice versa is not true. The phenomena which you are using in the quantum mechanics is not used in classical mechanics. That is the meaning of connectivity. That is the quantum mechanics concept can convert into classical mechanics application point of view. Next. Yes, but there is some of it. Is a broad sense application point of view. But even the applications, there is a semiconductors, transfer of lasers, quantum computing, and MR and medical imaging. Let me conclude which one is best. Which one is best when you think of it? Of course, quantum theory is extension of classical theory. It is not a replacement. I mean, as and today also, most of the phenomena successfully running with the help of classical mechanics. This is only extension of classical mechanics, not just for it. That means you need a new framework. As you are getting the system becomes very complex. Like as I mentioned, observation see my presence by simply seeing present or not, you can say. When you try to what I am thinking, what I plan to do in the next span and next seconds, we need a lot of framework. As simple as that. Next. This same thing I mentioned. No, it's not destroying. It's not a replacement also. It's not a replacement. It's only extension of the classical mechanics. Next. Yes, of course. These are the three key parameters. That is basic fundamentals of the classical, quantum computing. Each phenomena will for different applications. First one. Next one. Yes. This is the heart of the implementation of qubits. I think we might be heard about the basic principle of the quantum computing is superposition. See, the statement will be confused. You may think really how it is possible. The first statement is my quantum system can have multiple states. Multiple states. Like, for example, suppose let's take me, I am standing here and I am talking. That's two states, no? That will continuous until measurement. Once you measure that, then what does it measure mean? See, what you say? After measurement, it collapses into one finite state. I recall the example given by me. If someone came to me, asked, I got a call, just what I did? I stopped. Why I stopped? Because I am in a different work. Somebody came to me, that means once this measured, that will collapse. I come to one state only. I am starting and talking. If someone interrupted me, then whatever I will keep on stopping, I will take one state. But that's what I say, first superposition state. That means that 2 bits having a qubits, qubits and this basic principle of qubits. Of course, people it seems to confuse how it is possible having 2 states. Then I got some examples like see. Yes. For example, coin. Okay. Coin. Right? Suppose then you flip the coin. What is states? Other than flipping, that is right. There are 2 states. That is center of time. Once it is fallen down, after seeing suppose head is there, and the one is collapse. That is the meaning of the collapse. Don't come with that. How measuring collapse means that is the meaning of it. You throw it that continuous both are zeros and 1, like zeros and 1 at that time. But that means after measuring it cross the only one state. Of course, another example is spinning of the electron. That means anti-clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. Once if you measure the anti-clockwise, that will be only one state. Yes. And they say, another beautiful example with Schrödinger cat. Assume that you are keeping a cat in a box. What are states of the cat? There are two states. That alive, that dead. Once it until opening, you may feel that there are two states. Until opening. Once until it open, suppose that is dead. Whatever life, collapse. If it is life, that is collapse. That is the meaning of that. Maybe we confused in psychological that statement. Similarly, as we cannot have the same kind of logic for the implementation of the quantum gates using the first order equation. Next. Yes. Well, this is another important phenomenon. It's nothing new. Of course, in our daily life also we are seeing that entanglement. But two particles or two bodies interlink each other. By knowing the state of one, we are able to find the able to predict second state. As simple as that. That is the entanglement. By knowing we have two bodies, x and y. By knowing the status, by measuring the status of x, we can get it. Without measurement, we are able to find the status of y. That is the meaning of entanglement. Suppose, let us assume that an example. Right? See, one is how, that doesn't matter how far it is also. For example, if batch ends of boy and girl, that is a rule. Boy and girl is a rule. Suppose boy is present here. What is the other fellow of that batch? Condition is boy and girl, right? Boy is present here. What about the another one? Should be male, no? That means only to go. The batch ends of two boy and girl. That is it. Right? Boy is here. Girl is somewhere. If you ask us, if you ask what are the other people staying there, by seeing the boy, we are able to find, we are able to predict them. God is present. That means no need to go and see whether God is present or not. But that is the crucial entanglement. By doing that, we are able to implement all the laws, quantum gates for using the technology. That what advantage we are getting? Yeah. What advantage we are getting? That means no need to measure all the states. By knowing one state, we are able to predict the other state. Right, next. See this? Same example, let us say but two spinning coins. Right? But the condition is that both will be opposite. Condition both will be opposite. Two coins are right? But by seeing this one, we are able to take another one. That is the interlink between two states, two bodies, what I am saying. Of course, the distance doesn't matter. As I mentioned, boy and girl, if boy is present automatically, other one is girl. If girl is present, other one is the but that is the meaning of the entanglement. But this is two key parameters we are using in a quantum gates. Quantum gates, implementation of quantum gates, two parameters. Yes, next. Of course, what is the significance of that? Another one is the where we can use this entanglement in addition to quantum gates is cryptography. I think you might be aware of that cryptography and encryption and decryption. That means in order to while decoding, no need to bother with all the parameters. We can predict. That is the decoding will be easier than the normal. Of course, more about the cryptography in communication, Gopis and Satish will explore that one. Yes, next. Next one is the, of course, this already we came across in lower classes. Uncertainty principle. Both momentum and position is impossible to measure. according to Heisenberg concept principle. That means, see, assume this. Suppose body is under motion. If you try to measure weight, assume that body is under motion. Or I got a simple example. Suppose you are weighing your body. The first condition is you should not move. Am I right or not? You should not move. The velocity should be zero. Then you will find the exactly. Suppose you are moving, while moving you try to find the weight of your body. What happens? No doubt you can. But anyone will be accurate. Other one will be, yeah, that is minimum. It doesn't mean you can't measure, but you can measure. Like moving board also you are able to measure the weight. But the weight or something else, only one parameter will be accurate. Another will be inaccurate. Same thing. One accuracy will be, another will be yes, same thing. As I mentioned, body is moving. If you try to find the one parameter, another one, that one parameter will be another parameter will be not fixed. Next. Yes. What is the limitation of it? It is the predictability, right, of quantum system. That means both states will not able to measure this thing. Right? Let's see classical measure. Right? However, of course, they can using the concept we are able to describe the phenomena. Next. Of course, the way of reality of the real nature of the light. Light acts as a particle in case of photoelectric effect. Light acts as a wave in case of the interference and diffraction. That is the dual nature of light. That can act as a this way that classical mechanics will explain the photoelectric effect. Everything you might be aware of that. When light falls on the cathode, that will eject the electrons. Right? Energy of electrons is continuous. That is called photons. Next. Of course, another example how it looks like wavelength of light. Suppose my imagining throwing a ball. How it looks like, right? Whether it is a wave or you move a particle. Like suppose if you drop a stone in water, that carries waves. Like that. Next. Of course, this is the other proof for the dual nature of light. Double slit experiment you might be studied in undergrad and first year physics. See here, double slit experiment. Before slit is a particle, after slit is a wave. I repeat, before slit it is a particle. After slit it is a wave. That is meaning of the dual nature of light. See, this is summary of all these topics what we discussed till now. See, the first one is the concept, what is the definition and what is the significance of the cell. See, here the superposition is concerned. System can exist multiple states until measured. Right? What is significance? That supports the parallelism, that's way the speed of the quantum computing is more and more. Next, entanglement. As I mentioned, particles shade states. Measurement of one depends on the one. That's the beauty of entanglement. Where to use? Enables quantum teleportation and secure communication. Next, uncertainty principle cannot know the subject property of the phase simultaneously. Of course, that limits the division, but that's essential for the quantum theory. And wave particle derivation of light, partition both wave and particle behavior. Whereas that defines the setback of the classical mechanics. Next. Yes, come to the application point of view. Now, here we are going to use the that's basic principle of cohesion. It's quantum computing. That's what we are looking for. Whereas entitlement we are going to use the encryption and electron microscopy. That's wave computer and EPS atomic transaction techniques. Next. Now this is summary of this one. Then what is the classical physics? What is quantum mechanics? Now come to the application point of view. Now of course there are so many hurdles. The first hurdle in quantum computing is as we are talking about the IBM quantum computer, which is based on the superconducting qubits. But that is operating in very low temperature, ultra low temperatures. -273. Are you able to work on that? Are you able to say that? As of now, people are talking about the quantum computer is present. What the quantum computer will place somewhere else in a cryogenic temperature. That means very low temperatures. Then the keyboard may be available with you. The display may be available with you. The actual complete system will be in very low temperatures. -273. -200. Just imagine that. That is first study as of today. Now of course the photon based will work on room temperature, but there are a lot of methods. Ion trap means the very low temperatures. There is one of headache because even though people are keep on talking about the quantum computing, there are so many headaches. That is the first challenge we are going to face. The second one is what is the real world application? Where you are supposed to use the quantum computer. My best of knowledge, what I gone through the literature, what I found that it's not meant for all the applications. It's meant for only specific applications. That means we are supposed to make use the quantum advantage for a specific application only. In this regard, I have one example. For traveling, which one is best? Cycle are best or flight is best? Flight. Adapter same, like cycle is a classical computer, flight is a quantum computer. Then decide yourself which purpose you are going to use the classical computer, which purpose you are going to use the quantum computer. That is the fundamental difference what I observed after reading because what I found is so many people talking in future all the computers with the quantum computers that we are supposed to work on the quantum computers, something like people are feeling. But best of knowledge is not true. The quantum computers supposed to make use for a specific application only, not meant for all applications. Like I mentioned, for getting suppose for short distance travel, we are not going to use the flight. The common people cannot use that. Of course, not common. Money is not a matter. Some restrictions are there now. Suppose I want to go my home, I can use car or bike only, not use flight. Similar fashion. That means only specific. That's quantum computing meant for specific applications. That one of the major applications, what I found is the first one is the weather, modeling. Of course, there are so many modeling are there. In the modeling also, first one is the weather applications, atmospheric applications. Further, there are so many regions. If you recall the particular scenario, like we are able to go to the Mars, because people are staying there, the technologies are not like this. Like bus in future, like bus that people go to the star and they will come back. That's the technology is there as on today. I mean the upcoming technology. But one thing I don't know how we have observed that as on today, man, no system is there to predict the weather conditions. Like as you know, let's say USA, when the country now, why people are facing cyclone effects? That means there is no prediction system. Then how can you make a prediction system? How can you make a prediction system? How can you make a prediction like people are AI, it's all predictions, right? Further, more data set is one of the parameter. If the more and more data set is there, accuracy is also more and more. Then why people are not using more data set? Sorry? That means it takes a lot of time. Normal computation take a lot of time. That may take days. That may take days. That means if the weather conditions is concerned, we need to consume a lot of amount of data. If we are able to more, train system with more and more data, that may give the exact predictions. But as now the present technology can't make it, can't use it more and more data. That is one of the options we may get the quantum advantage is prediction of weather conditions by making more and more data and even increase more and more data. One aspect. Another one is the drug discovery. I think how can you discover any drug? Just try it on weather type. Find different combinations. That means how many combinations are supposed to check? In a case, that will get the better results. That means we need to model the art of molecules. The system is very, very complex. That there are a lot of data we need to compute. Normal computation take the days and years. As I mentioned, see, quantum computation is concerned, normal computation take 10 years, whereas quantum computation 90 seconds. If so, that discovery there is so many newer drugs. There is no drugs for so many diseases like cancer also. Something that in future, if you want quantum computer, there is one is weather conditions, the other one is the drug discovery, and last one, of course, last one I read in FTP, financial assessment. Financial like in share market, statistics. Statistics. Simple logic. We are going to use this statistics for getting the right prediction. But we need a lot of computations. But we need a lot of computation take narrow computation take much time. Once we go quantum computation take less time than you do something like that. That's why there is a big question mark. How much percentage of quantum computation project? How market? Because compared to normal sense, like as I mentioned, flight versus bike. Flight versus bike. No doubt flight will go fast. Bike will go, there is so restrictions. But who is going to buy a flight? How many people are going to flight? How many people are having a bike? Is a similar scenario which is in case of classical and quantum computers also, best of knowledge. It doesn't mean that the quantum computer is going to replace classical computers. Quantum computer is made for only specific cases. These are the examples. Come to the research point of view, where you can focus. As well, people are talking about the machine learning, right? That means you are taking data and you are trying something, you are doing something. Now, I think how many of you gone to this one? The term is called instead of ML, this is QML. Like we are computing, now we are talking about the quantum computing. We are talking about ML, now we are QML. Of course, fortunately, since 40 days we started working on that. That means, when we incorporate the quantum concepts, one aspect is like the all data set. With the less time, we are able to reports give the same accuracy with the low data sets also. There are some of applications for that. Two aspects. One aspect is it, like I mentioned, because competition will be high, it supports a large data sets. Second aspect is for low data sets to get more accuracy. Two aspects is give the advantage part of this part of it. That is where you can focus. That's it. Thank you very much. It's been very, very brief. If you have any doubts or queries, you can discuss. Up.